Welcome back to ECOSTRESS tutorials. This tutorial will teach you how to use a Python code to filter ECOSTRESS data for good images. First, let's create an input directory with all of the files that we need for this code. Let's go to the Appears website and go to the Explore tab. Here we can see all of our requests. I made this request downloading summer months over the Salton Sea in the year 2023. You'll see here I requested the LST layer and the QC layer. Now, if you don't directly request a QC layer, it will often still be included because this is a very important layer that gives you a lot of information. However, to make sure that's included in your search, you need to select it as a layer when you're requesting data. Now let's go to this download button, which will take us to the download page. Now first, from the supporting files, we need to download this last one that ends in statistics CSV. To download it, just click on the name. Now let's go down to our data. You'll see we have the LST layers and the QC layers. I'm going to click on this box here next to name to select all of the files. Now, in the download dropdown, I'm going to select download files. Once all of our files have finished downloading, go to your Finder and the Downloads folder. Here you will see the statistics CSV as well as all of the other files. Let's select all of these. Then right-click on one of the files and select New Folder with Selection. Name this folder in a way so that you'll know it's for the inputs. Now, let's move this Inputs folder into our documents. Next, let's right-click and select New Folder. Name the folder in a way so that you know it's for the outputs. Finally, we have to create one more folder, our project folder. Right-click and select New Folder. Name it in a way so that you know it's the main project folder. Now, let's put the inputs and outputs folder into our project folder. The last thing we want to add to our project folder is our code, which I downloaded from the ECOSTRESS Tutorials GitHub. I'll make sure to put a link of this in the description. Once you've downloaded the code, move it into the project folder. Now your project folder is all set up for use with your filtering code. Next, let's open Visual Studio Code. At the top, select File and Open Folder. Here, let's get connected to the main project folder. In the Explore tab, look for the Filtering for Good Images code and click on it to open it. It should look something like this. If you want to learn more about what each line of the code does, you can read these green lines here, the ones that have a hashtag in front. These are comments. Comments do not actually affect how the code is run, but provide more information for users. Find the section of the code titled Set the Directories. Look for the variable called Input Directory, and find this text that says replace this text with folder path. In order to do so, go to the Explorer tab and right-click on Filtering Inputs. Then select Copy Path. Now you can paste this path into where this red text is. Make sure it still has the R in front and is wrapped in quotes. Next, find the variable called Output Directory. Same as before, there should be some text that says replace this text with folder path. Once again, go to your filtering outputs, right-click, and select Copy Path. Now paste the path in. Again, make sure it has an R in front and it's wrapped in quotes. Now the code should be set up to run with your images. Let's go back to the top and find the section titled Import the Necessary Libraries. This is the first block of code that we want to run. Click into the box with the libraries and select Shift and Enter to run. A pop-up will appear prompting you to select the Python environment. Click Python Environments and then select the ECOSTRESS environment that you created, or another one if you have a different one that you would like to use. Let the code run for a few seconds. You will see the seconds counting up in the bottom left of the cell. You will know it has finished running when a green checkmark appears. Now, continue this process of running each block of code in order from top to bottom by clicking into the module with the code and pressing Shift-Enter to run. This code is set up to give you specific warnings based off of certain things being missing from the input directory. If you get one of these warnings, make sure to fix what's wrong with the input directory and run the code again. If you get the green check mark, you know that there's no warnings and you're good to continue. Once the code is done running, let's check our output directory folder. Different subfolders will be present with images in them. If one or more of these subfolders are not present, it just means that none of the images you inputted fell into that category. For example, the cloudy folder contains images that were filtered out for high cloud cover. The good folder contains images that were deemed good by all three standards, based on the user-defined threshold. Use the images in this folder for your future data analysis. The no data folder contains images that were filtered out for having high amounts of null pixels. The QF folder contains the processed versions of the QC files where the specific flags for cloud and no data have been applied. And finally, the bad georeference folder contains images that were filtered out because they were not georeferenced. Now you know how to use this code to automatically filter for good quality images. Once again, make sure you use the images in the good folder for any future analysis. Thank you for watching this ECOSTRESS tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. For more trainings, tutorials, and information, including a written version of this tutorial and its associated code, go to ecostress.jpl.nasa.gov/documents, which will be linked in the description.